friends. I am going to the Best Picture showcase today, and I'm going to do my makeup in a little bit, but this is one of the first vlogs that we've done in a little while, so I just wanted to kind of say, hey, if you don't know what the Best Picture showcase is, basically for 2 Saturdays we go to the movie theater. This case we're going to Downtown Disney, and we are going to watch each day 4 of the Oscar nominees for Best Picture. And so we do this, I think this is like our 3rd or 4th year of doing it, but there's 4 movies each day, and it's 2 Saturdays. So this is the first weekend that we're going, and of course I'm up at like 7 a.m., which is crazy because we didn't need to leave till 8:30, but I decided that I would go ahead and do my makeup and then show you what it looks. So this is what I look like without any makeup on. So I'll be right back to you. Okay, so this is the finished look. I am actually using this palette that I got from BH Cosmetics, the Carly Bible palette. I'm probably going to use this in a makeup in a movie sometime, but let me show you. This thing is gorgeous, and what's really funny is, I don't know if you can see, but right here, see it's a little bit darker. Basically, I was using a new eyeliner that I'm trying out. It's this Wet and Wild H2O proof. They just reformulated it for like the liquid formula, and I'm telling you, I like it. However, I did not wait for it to dry, and because I have hooded eyes, it basically messed up, so I had to go back in. As you can see, I'm rocking the crazy purple lips today because I feel like it. This is ColourPop. I chose this because even though it's drying, it stays on for a really long time. And this is the shade Koala, which is one of my favorite shades, and I usually wear it when I don't go to work because it's a little bright, but I do like it for, you know, going out or whatever. And my last thing is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and it is a setting spray. I've been using this a little bit lately also, and I like it. So far, I haven't totally seen a difference to other setting sprays, but it is cheaper, so I guess that's a good plus. And then I wanted to also say that I'm not using any contour or anything like that, but I am using a new highlighter, and that's this Wet n Wild Geometric Highlighting Powder and Where the Dreams Go. I put this on my Snapchat, and a lot of these things I put on my Snapchat, so if you're not following me on Snapchat and Instagram, you're missing out on the good swatches and things like that. But anyway, so this is my eye look for today when we go to Best Picture Showcase. And I'm just waiting for everyone else to wake up, basically, and then we will be off. We are now here at AMC. You can see it over here. Yep, there's the line. We are going to Starbucks to get coffee because that's what you do when you have to be here at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning for something that starts at 10.
This long.
Yeah, because it's Disney, so why wouldn't there be lines? Yep, and there's Chris on his phone trying to get his Starbucks app together. Yep. So yeah, we'll meet you at Starbucks. What did you get?
Same thing you got, the smoked butterscotch frappuccino.
Did you get anything to eat?
Yes. I got this chorizo breakfast sandwich.
What about you? What'd you get?
I got a Java chip frappuccino. And it will be good.
They do have wine here too.
At the Downtown Disney Starbucks? Wine.
Yeah, wine. They have truffle mac and cheese. They have like spinach artichoke dip.
It's totally legit. It's pretty big too.
It's really nice. The designs in here are really cool. If you go to the one at Downtown Disney in Anaheim, it looks a lot like this, and there's a TV where you can see the people in the Anaheim Starbucks too.
Ooh, I think that's my drink. You want to take over? Hi. I got a spinach feta wrap and this butterscotch frap. I'm sorry, Geeks and Beauties Healthy Group. I'm sorry. Alright, so we are in the theater now for Best Picture Showcase. We have received our awesome lanyards that we usually get. Has the schedule on the back there. But basically you get into the theater, you get your seats, and you sit here for like 12 hours basically, and that is what happens. So there's a lot of people coming in, and this year what's really interesting is they give you these cards. They didn't do this before, but they give you these cards that reserve your seat. So if you need to go get refreshments or where you got yours, you can you have your name on it, and then you just put that on your seat so you can save your seat. Like, if they didn't do that before, I think that's super cool. What else did they give us?
Ballot for the Oscar.
So then they also, every year, they give you this, which basically has all the movies in it that you're going to be seeing for the entire weekend.
Mic check.
Cool. Ooh, and there's usually an MC, so that's fun. And then they gave you like a poster
1, 2.
with the ballot on it. Yeah. So this is Chris's, how many times have you come?
6.
And this is our third, Marshall's second. But it's cool, it's like tradition.
Yeah, today we have 4 movies. Bridge of Spies, Room,
Mad Max, and Big Short. Yeah. Aren't you excited? Especially with this new camera, because in my old camera, the darkness of this theater, it would have been horrible. Yeah. Are you guys excited? Give a thumbs up down below if you're excited. YouTube Zainey friends. Marshall's excited. He brought his drawing. So I was such a noob. Let me tell you stories while we're waiting. My first year, I was such a noob at this that I literally brought yarn to crochet during the movie because I usually have to have something to do with my hands. But it's so dark you can't see anything. So it's like, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, that year she told me, she was like, well, I'm gonna bring like some stuff to crochet and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. And then she did, and I don't think you did any.
I did like a row, and then I was like, I give up. I give up. Yeah. I am now more educated about what happens.
Today
That's
you'll
for
be
sure.
like a veteran now, like, for sure, 3-timer.
Yeah. Exactly. The other cool thing that even though, you know, you spend quite a bit of money for this event, it's totally worth it because it's only like $65 for 8 movies, which is a deal. And not only that, if you have stubs, you can have $5 each weekend to spend on concessions. But honestly, if you're spending this much money already, you probably have already built up a lot of stubs rewards just from buying the main ticket. So technically you're gonna have a lot to spend, and we're lucky because even though our theater is not a fork and screen, there is a fork and screen on the other side of the theater, so sometimes they'll let you go over there and get the food that you would get from fork and screen, so you're not totally like concessions all the way. However,
Even our concessions here has a lot of good stuff.
it does.
There's
Plus,
some nacho waffle fries.
Kitz's favorite thing is his waffle fried nachos, and he gets it every year, and I'm looking forward to it this year, yeah. And then, you know, as if that wasn't enough, you can just go outside the theater. They have some food trucks down here at Downtown Disney, and they have a Wolfgang Puck, and they've got a Cubana.
It's Disney Springs.
Excuse me, Disney Springs. Gotta get up with the name change. God, I swear.
Come on, catch up.
But anyway, we'll be back to you super soon. So we just got out of Bridge of Spies, and it was an interesting movie. I liked it. It was dramatic. Not gonna win. Just gonna be real. It's not gonna win.
Probably not, but what I liked was that there was a lot of comedic moments that didn't have to happen. It was just, it was very real comedic moments.
Yeah, kept it light because it's pretty heavy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. Tom Hanks was amazing. I believe the guy that played the Russian spy is nominated for Best Supporting Actor,
He was really
and he was
good.
amazing. He was
Yeah.
really good too.
And I really love Amy Ryan. I have ever since The Office, and she also did very well.
Okay. Next is Room.
Which I don't know if I want to see, but I'm going with it. we might duck out halfway through. We just don't know.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about this. You can just kind of come and go if you want.
Sure.
So, what time? Is it lunchtime now?
Lunchtime.
It's lunchtime.
All right. So the lights just went off. Hold on. All right. So we did not have a chance to talk about the other movies because there wasn't a lot of break time. So we wanted to come at the end of the night and kind of tell you what we thought of the movies. So let's start with Room.
The Room was intense.
It's just a room.
Room.
Just
Room
room.
is a totally different.
There was there was room for more the. There was room for more the. Anyway, it was very intense. Very. It grabs you. It's it was not quite as bad as we thought it was going to be.
It actually, I thought it was going to be a lot more disturbing, but it just ended up being a lot more intense.
I was surprised with the second half of it, that it, spoilers, there's stuff about them, like, coming back to the real world, and all that stuff that it focused on there surprised me, and it was really fascinating in a way, really touching. There's a lot of really good moments.
And this is also a very philosophical, existential movie.
Yes.
You spend a lot of time seeing things from his perspective, and how he is viewing a world that is only one.
He means
big.
the son. When he says his
the
perspective, he means the son, who in the movie is about 5 when all this is happening, and his only life has been in room, so he doesn't know outside, and so it's kind of an interesting experience for him. All in all, I would say Room was a very good movie. Would I ever want to see it again? Probably not, but I'm glad I saw it. I thought it was really good. The movie after that we saw was Mad Max. We have a lot of differing opinions about what we feel about Mad Max. This is actually the second time Chris has seen Mad Max.
Yes.
It was a fun movie.
It was fun.
It was a very adrenaline-packed joyride, which I enjoyed that aspect of it. What was it you felt about it a lot? Because you were the big fan of it.
I thought it was fun. I thought all the action and the stunts were really amazing. I thought it looked fantastic as well. It looked like a comic book come to life. And I loved even though there's a story, it's not a lot, but I did like the story, and that it was, it was an adventure story still, but I liked the, different aspects of it, these women coming together and kind of being the action heroes. Even though this movie is Mad Max, it's not so much about him.
And one thing I realize right now is that there is a portion of the story that is about him, and that is, it kind of takes him from being this kind of a mad dog character that's out for himself to being somebody who's like, I'm for you, and he drives a group of people to do a really big thing.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's one thing I really didn't realize while I was in the movie. But otherwise, like, I felt like I couldn't hold on to what was going on, and a lot of the dialogue was mushy.
I was just overwhelmed by all of it, to be honest. He wants me to talk about the fact that there was a ludicrous guitar player. Like, when you talk about, okay, so I'm going to make the comparison to, in wars, when they have drummers, especially in, like, Revolutionary Wars and Civil Wars, they had drummers that would push the battle forward. And in this one, they had drummers and an electric guitar. It was over the top, and it was like, what the heck is going on? But the whole thing was like totally overwhelming. Everyone wanted them to kill the guitarist. Let's just be real. They wanted him to blow up at some point during the movie. They just wanted it to happen. But like, to me personally, was it fun? Yeah. Would I watch it again? Maybe. But honestly, was it Best Picture caliber? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. Let's talk about the last movie, which was The Big Short. I don't think any of us really knew what we were going into when we saw this movie, but, it is based on true events, and it was happening during a time when, Corey and I basically moved from California. While all of this was going on, we moved to Florida, and so for us, it was like basically what happened in our life, like knowing that the market tanked and the jobs market was horrid and all that jazz. Like, we lived through that, so it was interesting to see it. Also, it was just a really fun movie. Like, the acting was great, and there was a lot of comedy in something that was kind of a depressing subject. So yeah,
they made sure to balance a lot of the things that would make people turned off to the movie with other things. So whenever they felt like things were going to get too heady, too hard to relate with, they threw in some other person to explain things out for you and make it easy. Whenever they thought things were going to get too depressing, there you go, some humor. So it worked out very well. It was a very well-balanced movie.
Yeah, very well written. Adam McKay did an amazing job directing and acting. I mean, everybody in this movie, even like characters that you're like right off the bat, you're just like, this is a terrible person, I don't think I'm going to like them. In the end, you kind of did in a way, and I mean, like Steve Carell's character, like right at the beginning, you're just like, okay, nope,
this is an a-hole. You're not gonna like him. But then in the end, you know.
You do.
Yeah.
So basically that was the 4 movies that we saw this weekend, and we have 4 more next weekend, which we'll try to do the same thing. Make sure you keep watching, because we're going to do a makeup and a movie, but we don't know what we're doing it on yet, so that'll be interesting for this week.
Dice roll.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like what we're doing, make sure you subscribe and give us a thumbs up and all that jazz, because, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
The guys in the backseat would like you to do that.
I would really appreciate it.
All right. See you later. Bye-bye.